All right, people, Catfish Dave here. I've got two cut baits out. I've got one little live bait on a float over there, and I mean he's little, he ain't much. I got another cut bait on a float over this way. And basically, last few videos, you've seen flatheads in my videos. It's that time of year for them to start waking up and getting active. You know, it's a little early for a live bait bite, but I have been getting cut bait flatheads. I got a really good cut bait flathead one of my last videos. So basically, I'm experimenting. This is a new spot. I've never fished it. I'm way up in Tellico Lake, and Tellico Lake is not blue cat heavy. There's blues in Tellico. There's some good blues in Tellico, but most of the time, in your waters where your blue cats and your flatheads are both in the same place, usually your blue cat will dominate. Well, here the blue cats ain't real heavy. They're more heavy down in Fort Loud and Watts Bar and all that. So there tends to be more flatheads per catfish in this lake. So basically, I've scoped out what I would think would be a good flathead spot. It's a backwater creek behind a backwater creek. Basically, there's a huge backwater cove across the road, and then it comes under a culvert big enough for big fish that can swim back and forth. And then it goes into the shallower section of backwater creek, and the actual main creek itself is just right on the left of me here. I can see it coming in. But it's mostly shallow. I do have some deep water where my cut baits are. You can see all the rock. There's stuff in here that will attract flatheads. Got a good cut bank on the other side. I like making videos at different spots. I like experimenting with different spots. So that's what I'm doing right now. It's kind of in the middle of the day, but I get daytime flatheads this time of year. You know, sometimes 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And one of the reasons I liked this side of the cove better than that side of the cove, that side of the cove probably has more flatheads, but this is the muddier section here. This section here is going to heat up in the sun today and kind of get things stirring up a little bit. Like I say, it is late winter. It's mid-March. Probably be April before I get on a really good live bait bite for them. And a blue cat is not impossible in here. Most of them's going to be on the other side. They can swim through that culvert in there, so I could get a blue. Like I say, I'm mainly targeting flatheads, so let's get her done. Slow so far. Say water temp's just barely over 50 degrees. It's early, but it ain't impossible. I ain't even getting no dink bites out here. Not even a channel cat. Looks like flathead waters to me. They don't always bite the day you go out. Boy, that's a big old fish. Big fish, big fish. Big fish. That fish ain't big at all. That sucker pulled hard. Golly, he pulled hard. And he kind of hit like a blue. Kind of hit like a blue cat, man. Old demon fine wire right in the corner of the mouth. I'm liking this hook pretty good. Well, I got what I was after, man. Tellico Lake Flatty. Man, that fish pulled hard. I thought I had something real on there. Shoot. Got a quick pick. Kind of hiding this fish from the cars. You know how that goes. Homesteaders. Let's get him back in the water. I don't know what made that fish pull so hard. My God, you heard how fast he hit it. Now that's, I mean, I'm like, man, that sounds like a blue cat running. And I wouldn't expect a blue to be way back up in here. Like I say, you gotta, this is what, flathead waters mostly. And I thought it was blue the way it ran. Sure enough, I got my target fish. I've said this in other videos. Most of the time a flathead bite, I can about tell it on the sound of the clicker. It's usually subtle, kind of a pull, or sometimes you hear just a little click and then they stop. Sometimes you don't even hear that. Sometimes you just see your line moving, and if you don't get him, he's liable to spit it. I did have a flathead up in the Kanawha River up in West Virginia one time. It ran like a blue cat. No, it ran like a striped bass. It didn't run like, it ran like a 30-pound striper. It hit hard. It hit a whole gizzard shad on the bottom, fresh gizzard shad. And the way it ran, I thought it was a blue or a striper, and sure enough, it was about a 28-pound flathead. So they can occasionally hit hard, but most of the time they don't. All right, people. One fish. It is what it is. I'll tell you what, pound for pound, that's one of the hardest pulling little flatheads I ever caught. When I first set the hook in it, I thought it was a 50 or better blue cat or a big striper. That's what it felt like when I first set the hook in it. Of course, you know, once I seen it, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. It pulled harder than that 40-pound flathead out of the gate. Now the 40-pounder pulled a lot more drag once I got it close to the bank, but that one there straight out the gate, I thought it was a striper or something. Hard pulling little fish. I'm just sampling new waters, people. Finding new places to fish. Taking y'all with me. This is a video. There was a fish in the video. That makes it a fishing video. This is Catfish Dave, signing out.